you know, this country needs changing, doesn't it? I mean, we'd agree with that, yeah? I mean, for too long now, it's been ruled by people who are kind of sitting in their crystal palaces somewhere. They don't really have much grassroots contact. They're in contact with you and me, yeah? So, I mean, you know, Danny's opinion is not important to the people in the House of Parliament. Jean, your opinion is not important. Mark, your opinion is not important to these people. These people are only actually responding to their peers in the Houses of Commons. We know that because we know that you know, every government is basically formed on a minority vote. Yeah? And so whatever the governments do, they're going to end up not pleasing most people. And that just seems to be a ridiculous system in the first place. And we find it particularly in Bournemouth. I can't talk so much about Poole because I don't know anything about Poole. But I mean, in Bournemouth, we know that the council has been doing stuff that the majority of the population, the majority of the people of Bournemouth, don't actually like. And you only got to talk to people, and they'll tell you. It's not hard to find out that the general consensus of the people of Bournemouth is that the council are not doing the job that they should be doing. And that's been going on for years. It's not just this last 4 years, it's the last 16 or 20 years. And what has happened is they've changed between the Liberals and the Lib Dems and the Conservatives, switched back and forward a little bit. But in general, every council, all its decisions have been unpopular. I'm particularly here because I think that arts and culture are very important to the regeneration of communities. The council hasn't been doing very much to support that kind of arts regeneration side of stuff. It seems to me that if you don't have a very clear solutions approach, then actually all you do as a council is plaster over the cracks. And that's all we've had, I think, for the last 16 years, plastering over the cracks. Nobody's really getting deep down on the issues. And I think that today, as thinking, as mobile, as internet-connected people, we can actually run our local and our national government better than the way it's being run at the moment. Yeah, you agree? Yeah. So, how do we get people involved? How do we get people activated? It's one of the questions that we actually really need to think about today. The technology is there. We can network very easily. I've tried to network this event, but to actually get people off of their chairs, out of their beds, and to actually come together and actually listen and talk and share what they think is very difficult. But I think it can be done, and I still think it can be done before the election in May. So this is very early days. This event was organised really just to kind of test the waters, to see what is out there. And it looks as if it's going to be quite hard, but if we actually use the power of our connections, we can do something. So I put on the wall out there this thing that I've just called it net poll, network politics. We are in the position now where we could actually form a network to do the political stuff that needs to be done in this town. And the network isn't just, Facebook. It's actually a network of people in Bournemouth, or in your case, the people in Poole. You see, we know each other. And when I think of my own personal network, I know that there are people in my own personal network who have the skills and abilities to run this town better than it's being run by the political people that are in there doing it at the moment. And I think if we can talk together, if we can agree together, then things will really change. But we have to unite around certain things, and I don't think we can unite around policy. So this is why I am an independent rather than a policy person. I think we have to unite around values. Because we're all always going to have different opinions on the more superficial, but we will always agree on the central values. So if I say to you something like justice, yeah? Greens are fighting for justice, UKIP are fighting for justice, yeah? Independents fight for justice. There's actually agreement on key values, key principles. And those are also things that will appeal to people, yeah? Because actually people know that justice, social justice, helping the poor, those type of things are actually very important. And I think you can rally political movement, political action around those values. And what I'm going to be doing over the next 8 weeks, I'm going to be doing my very best to put forward the values that BIA stands for, and I want to get people involved, I want to get them actually agreeing with me. And out of that, I'm hoping there's going to be a movement that will see us get some independent councillors actually onto that council to make a difference.